All right, well, good morning and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Meetup. Today we are going to be looking at our coding agent again and some of the other things that we can do with him. Some of the things I've found that make things a little bit easier when you're trying to build and you don't want your little coding agent around. So we're going to take a look at what the builder can do for us today. So we're going to go right on in here. And I'm going to go ahead and resume game. And I'm going to step over here a little bit. Okay. Notice that in my inventory, I have just some random stuff in there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up my coding agent here. Now, I started working on this a little while ago. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to show you what we've built in here and what we can do with it. And we're going to see if we can get this part to actually work the way it's supposed to. Okay. So what we did is I went in here to the advanced and I went into builder. Hopefully it will let me get in there. Let's see. Here we go. And here's builder. And in the builder, we have lots of different commands that we can use in order to get the builder to place blocks and to dig holes or whatever it is that we want, not just the coding agent. So we can have the coding agent do things. Of course, we can have our player do things. We can have our mobs do things. But then we have this other thing called a builder. So let's take a look at the code that I've actually put together here. What I've done, and like I said, I was just kind of playing around with this morning, just trying to figure out what we could do here, is on start, we're going to repeat 10 times. We have a loop right here, and we're going to have the builder move forward 1 and place a block 1. Then we're going to have the builder turn to the left, move forward 1, and turn to the left again. So he's actually moving and moving. And then we're going to have him place a mark. And then I had him try to trace a path from the mark with a block. Now I said to do this 10 times, but he only does it 1 time. So I'm going to go ahead and run this so we can take a look at it. Maybe we can try to figure out what we need to do to make him so he can make another row. Now I know I could have him do this again. We can actually make this into a function if we wanted to. So which we might do. But let's just check it out and see what happens. So if I go this way, there's my 10. Then he turned to the left. So he went this way. He turned to the left. Then he went 1 forward and then he turned left again. And then he put a block here. Now this is the path right here. So we want him to make another pathway. So one of the things I was thinking of for a later episode would be to make a flag of your state. And in order to do that, we'd have to do a couple of things. First, we'd have to use some graph paper to actually graph it out and then take that image on the graph paper and then transmit that into code, either using a coding agent or here using the builder. Okay. So we need to figure out how we're going to make him make this row here. So I'm going to go back into the code. I know I'm going to be using the builder because he seems to be pretty easy to use. All right. So we have this here. Turn left, and instead of placing mark, I'm going to take this part out. And I think we're going to go ahead and just dump that. Okay, so we have him turn left, he goes forward, and then he turns left again. So now we can have him repeat this again, right? So in order to do that, why don't we make a function make row? And then we'll put this into that function, and then we can put call make row and then call make row. So let's see what that looks like. Okay, we're going to make a function, make row. Okay, done. There's our function of make row, and we're going to take this part out, put this part back in, and this is going to be our function. So on start, we need to have the function make row, then we have him do this, and then we're going to have him make row again. And then actually, we can make all of this a function, actually, like that. Now, all right, we're going to make row. We're going to call this make row left. Okay. So we have a make row left, and now we're going to make a function make row right, because we can't keep turning to the left, because then we're going to end up making a circle. So we don't want to do that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new function, and we're going to call this function make row right. Done. Okay, so now we have make row right. So now what we're going to do, we're going to copy this, put this in here. Okay, and we're going to go back into the builder, and we're going to turn builder to the right, move builder forward by 1, like that, and turn to the right again, like that. Okay, so now we've got a function of make row left, make row right. So now where's our on the start? We're going to put in 2 functions. We're going to call make left and call make right. Now let's see what this is going to look like. Okay, we did one thing wrong. You see what we did wrong? He did the row and then he turned. So we need to have him go forward 1 more. If you notice here, these are off, right? They're off. He did this row first, and then he turned to the left, and then he did the second row. And as you can see, it's a little off here. Okay, so we need to have him, when he gets here, he goes forward 1 more, then turns, and then starts the row. Okay, so we're going to go over here, right here, and I'm going to go back into my code here. Okay, so we need to add a move forward 1 more time. Put a forward right here. So he's going to move forward, then he's going to turn left, move forward, and then turn left again. So we need another move forward on this one as well. Okay, like that. Now, let's see what this looks like. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, we did 10 blocks and 10 blocks. So now we can do another row again and another row again, and we can have them do that like 10 times if we wanted to. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to open up my code again. So I'm going to take another loop, and in the loop, and we're going to do this 10 times, where he's going to go 1 row, then another row, then 1 row, then another row, 1 row, then another row. And we're going to see what that looks like when he's all done. Let's go ahead and play it out, and let's see what happens here. Isn't that the most awesome sight? It's just moving all by itself. Look at that. That is pretty awesome. Oh, looks like that was the last row there. Let's see, let's count them. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we did 1 row, and then we turned around and did a second row, so that should be 20. So there should be 20 rows here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Yeah, we did 20 rows. So that was the last row there. Now that is pretty cool. So if I get up here and look at that, it did the exact row the way I wanted it to do it. So now I've got a 10 by 20 piece. So if I wanted to actually build on here, I could. Now, what would happen if we change the code a little bit? Because I'm thinking, what if we were to dig a hole that big, one down? So if we go to the builder, I wonder if there's a way that for us to do that, or are we going to have to use the the coding agent to do that? Let's see. Maybe we can raise a wall. Builder paste, builder copy. Builder line from Mark. Okay. So if we wanted him to fill, so it looks like in order to dig a hole, then we couldn't use the builder there, because all he's going to do obviously is build. Okay. All right. But we could change what he's building with. So let's go back in here. And instead of doing the blue, let's do something completely different. All right, let's go in here. Let's click in here. Come on. All right, let's see what we could build in here instead. We could build with some trees. Oh, this would be a great way to plant some trees, huh? Yeah, I would think so. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put some trees just to see if that actually works, because I'm not sure it's going to work. Let's do some birch. Okay. And this one's the same. We're going to do some spruce. So we're going to do spruce for the arrow left, and for the row, make row right, we're going to do some birch. Okay, so let's see what happens there. And we're going to do this only 5 times instead of 10, because it's not going to be 20 rows. It'll only be 10 rows then. All right, let's see what that looks like. Let's see if it did it properly. And look how fast it did it. It planted all of those trees for me. That is so cool. Now, if it can do it horizontally, I wonder if we can do that vertically as well. Maybe we should check that. So let's look in there and let's see what else we can do here. All right, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna take these out, and we're gonna make this a different type of block. Whoa, looks like the trees are already starting to grow. I'll have to chop them down here in a few minutes. Smooth sandstone, because I like the smooth sandstone so much. I think it's real pretty. And the same thing here, smooth sandstone. Okay. But instead of we're going to have him go forward by 1. Then he's going to turn right. And then he's going to move forward again. And then I think we're going to need to make him move up a level. Actually, no. I know what we're going to do. We have him, he's going to move forward, turn right, then turn right again and move up. So we need this one, and then this one's going to be move forward, turn left, and move up. Okay. All right, let's see what that looks like. Oh my goodness, look at that. Look at that. And that's just a 10. That's just a 10 right there. So I wonder if I stand here, if we can do it horizontally too. Actually, we probably could. We probably could then do where he turns, because he's going to be way up here. I wonder if we could have him do an entire, well, he did an entire wall there. I wonder if we can make him do another wall. Let's see what else we can have him do before we run out of time. All right, so our function right now is repeating 10 times as he moves forward and he places a block. And then he moves forward, places, he does that 10 times, and then he moves forward, moves to the right, moves to the right again, so he's looking the same way. Then he goes up by 1, and then he does it again, and then he does it going back and forth the other way. So it's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. All right, so now he's up at the top. He's way up here, right? So now, what if we did another function, but instead of going up, he's going to come down. So let's do that. Let's do another function, and we're going to call this one make row down 1. Okay, and the make row down 1 is going to be pretty much the same thing. Okay, but instead of going up, we're going to have him come down. So we're going to have him do this part. I'm going to have him make a row. Okay, but then on the bottom part, we're going to have him move forward by 1, move him right by 1, move him right by 1 again, because we're going to have him do exactly the same thing here, but instead of going up, now we're going to have him move down. Okay, now we're going to have him move down by 1. Okay, and that's going to make row down 1. So now we did it on the right. Oops, this should be on the right also. So if we have them do it on the right, and these can't be in there. These have to be on the outside of the loop, just like here. The only thing that should be in the loop is this. The rest of this should be on the outside. Otherwise, it'll do all of that 10 times, and we don't want that to happen. All right, so now we have one row there. And now we're going to do another row, another function, make row down 2. Okay, this one's going to be make row down 2. And it's going to be almost the same exact thing as this, except instead of going to the right, we're going to go to the left. So now we're going to move forward by 1 on the outside. We are going to turn to the left. We are going to turn to the left again, like that, and then we're going to make him go down by 1. Okay, down. All right, so now if we've done this, now we need to make him turn either to the right or to the left after this, because he did a row. We want him to turn 90 degrees, so that he's going to need to turn. So let's make him turn to the right. So put this in here. We'll make him turn to the right, and then we're going to call the function make row 1 and make row 2. Oops, gotta be under functions. Make row down 2, like that. Now these are going to need to be in a loop, because we're going to want them to do that 10 times. So I'm going to put this in the loop, put the loop in here. See, we're going to do this loop 5 times. Then we're going to have him turn to the right. Then we're going to have him do this loop 5 times again. So we'll have a whole row of 10. So let's see what that looks like. Oh, you got stuck a little bit there. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Uh-oh. Oh, I see what happened. Do you see what happened? Because when he came out, he went forward and I think he went up somehow. Let's check on that. Let's check on that really quick before we run out of time. So let's see here. Aha. Because when we had to move up here. That's why. Because that was part of the make row to the right was to move the builder up by 1, right? And that was part of the function. So he moved up. Now to move down, it should have moved him down. But somehow I know what happened. You know what happened? Because it moved him up at the very last thing here. So in order to prevent that from happening, I'm going to go back to the builder and we're going to turn him right, and then we're going to move him down by 1. Okay, like that. So let's hopefully that we have enough room here. Look at that. It's working. And it's so fast. There we go. So now we know that we're going to stop here. So in order to make sure we do that properly, now we're going to need to figure out a way to move him all the way over to this corner. All right. Now, if we had him turn to the left instead of to the right, let's see what would happen. I think then we would be able to put them back to back again. So let's move over here. Let's go back into our code. Instead of turning him to the right, let's turn him to the left. Okay, let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay. Look at that. That is just beautiful. That's all I gotta say. But you'll see that he still ended up over here in this middle corner here. So what we're going to need to do then is we're going to need to swap these whichever way we decide to turn and have him in. So if he goes he's going to the right here. So instead of having him turn to the right, we'll have him turn to we'll swap the 1 and the 2. So let's go back in there again, because we have him moved down by 1, which is fine. That's absolutely fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 2. We're going to put 2 first and then 1, just to see if that makes a difference. Don't know if it's going to make a difference, but we're going to give it a try. Let's see. I mean, it's still working the way it's supposed to. So that's a good thing. Nope, it still only went there. Now, if we had done 11 rows, we had done an odd number of rows, it might have worked. Let's try that. Let's try to go. Actually, it's still going to be even because we're going to do it. We're going to do it 6 times. Now, we could do 1 more row after that, but we want to make sure that these 2 are the same. So let's go back in here 1 more time, because we know that any number times 2 is going to turn into an even number, so it doesn't matter if we can't do an odd number of rows. We could if we did 1 more row down below. So if we have all of this here, and then we did one of these, let's see, which one did we do first? We did call left first, so let's do call left. Okay. And then we're going to put that right here. So he's going to do one more row, and then he's going to do all this. And then we do this one more time. And this is down here. So that way we just have that one row where it's not going to loop it again. It's just going to do one row. Let's see what happens there. I think this is really cool. I love this. Yep, it's going up that extra row. Oh, where's it going? Did it do it over here? Is it doing it over here? Oh, it sure is. Look at that. And look at that. Now it's right. Now he's right here. So then we could start that again, that process again of having him turn again to the right. And then he could go this way again and then he would do a whole entire block. So let's go way over here. So we have just enough time to try this one more time. So let's go back in here. We're going to do this one more time. So on start, we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this. Then we're going to do this one again. Okay. Right here. I'm going to repeat it 5 times. Right. After we turn to the left and we move down, or actually we're going to move up, right? Because, well, no, we're down at the bottom, so all we have to do is turn. So we just have to turn to the left. So we will turn to the left right here. Okay, and then we're going to do this part, and then we are going to turn to the left again, right? Like this. And we're going to move down by 1, right? And that's not in a loop, right? Okay, down by 1, and then we're going to do the maker down again, this one right here. So we're going to copy this right here. Okay, and then that should be it. We shouldn't have to do anything else. We've got one row, then we've got the second row, then we've got the third row, and then the fourth row. So let's give that a try just to see what it's going to look like. And we have just enough time to see this end here. Okay, and remember it's going to go on this side now. Let's see if this works. I'm hoping this works. Oh, check it out. Now he's going to be off by 1 on this side, but that's okay. I can actually come in and fill this in then if I really needed to. Oh, it started over here again. So I would have to do it as an opposite. Something for me to work on. All righty then. Well, we've learned a little bit about what the builder can do. It's pretty awesome. He's a lot like the coding agent, but he's quite a bit quicker, and it's so cool to watch. So hopefully you learned something today and play around with this piece of code, because maybe, just maybe, you'll be able to build something really, really awesome. So with that said, I'm going to go. Keep on crafting, stay safe, listen to what they're telling you to do, wear your masks when you're out in public, take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.